Do you have a sales team? Do you want to get the most out of them? Well, I can tell you how. Keep watching. Hello everyone, my name is Ben Salisbury with the Salisbury Creative Group. Today I'm going to give you 4 ways to get the most out of your sales team. So the first point I have about how to get the most out of your salespeople, and this is the most important point, so if you don't watch the whole video, at least hang on for another minute or two because this is the most important thing, and that is hiring the right people. For most wine and spirits companies, here's where everything breaks down. Here's where the sales performance that they want so badly just doesn't materialize because they don't know how to hire the right people. They don't know where to find them, what to look for, how to screen for them. And that is the most important thing. No amount of motivation or incentives in the world can take a mediocre salesperson and turn him into a star salesperson. If you want star salespeople who consistently deliver the numbers month after month, year after year, you're going to have to hire that. I've had the good fortune over the years leading large sales teams to work with some extraordinary salespeople. And one thing they all had in common is they didn't need anyone to tell them what to do to be successful. They get up in the morning, they knew exactly what they needed to do, wanted to do, and they went out there and did it consistently. So the idea that you would have to provide any kind of extra motivation to a salesperson is ridiculous. Hire the right salespeople to begin with, and you're not going to have any problems. Put all of your energy and time and thought and care into hiring the right people. And if you don't know how to do it, if you don't know what to look for, I'm happy to help you with that. But you have got to hire the right people from the beginning. Otherwise, nothing else you do is going to work. So the second thing you need to do to have high-performing salespeople is don't micromanage them. Once you find the right people and you bring them on board and you onboard them properly, get them oriented properly, then leave them alone. The very best salespeople hate to be micromanaged, and it's just a waste of your time trying to do it. Now, all great teams, whether they're professional sports teams or sales teams, they need a coach. Everyone needs coaching. You just saw the Super Bowl a few weeks ago. Why, with all that talent on the field, why do they need any coaches at all? Because the talents that salespeople have often need to be, you need to help them focus, which I'm going to get to in just a minute. But micromanaging great salespeople is a waste of time, and it annoys the heck out of the salespeople. You've got to hire people that you trust. And you know why people micromanage? Because they don't trust. They don't trust that people are working. They don't trust that people are putting in the time and the hours. That is not the job of a sales leader, is to make sure people are working. That is ridiculous. You hire the right people, man, they're going to work their butts off with or without you because that's how they roll. That's how they're wired. That's how they're made. So leave them alone, give them space to operate, find other things to do as the sales leader, like remove obstacles for them, make sure the communication is clear, don't let the priority shift, protect them from all the people above you and all that political nonsense that goes on. You know what I'm talking about. Protect your salespeople from that. They need to be free to go out and do what they do best. Do not micromanage them. Point number 3. To have high-performance sales teams, do not overfunction as the sales leader. Now, this sounds a lot like point number 2 I just made, which is don't micromanage people. Overfunctioning goes way beyond this. There's a saying I like, and I use it, and I suggest you use it too. To the degree that the leader overfunctions, everyone around them will underfunction. So if you're an over-functioning person and you're always jumping in trying to help and tagging along and this sort of stuff, all it does is make the person who reports to you pull back. They're going to wait because you might change direction or you might not like the way they're doing it. I would worry a lot less about the way people get things done and worry far more about whether or not they get it done, like the goal. Beautiful thing about sales departments is they all have a goal. Everybody has a goal, and usually there's some kind of reward or incentive or bonus for achieving that goal. As a sales leader, don't worry about how they get to the goal. Just worry about whether or not they do. So don't overfunction, because it will cause them to underfunction. And part of what this looks like is salespeople are going to bring problems to you as the sales leader. And sometimes you need to get baby arms. And be careful you don't get sucked into overfunctioning. Each salesperson needs to be a highly functioning, high-performing individual operator. So beware of you trying to overfunction on their behalf or them trying to get you to overfunction from their behalf. Pay attention to this. It's a big one. So my fourth tip about making sure that your sales team is functioning at a high level is your job as a sales leader is to help the team stay focused. Salespeople are great people. They're high energy people. They're very friendly people, outgoing people. Well, those same qualities also make it hard for them to stay really focused. The primary job of a sales leader, besides hiring the right people, giving them the tools they need to be successful, staying out of their way, is to help them stay focused. This is the coaching part of being a sales leader. And so let me talk a little bit more about what this looks like. It is an absolute fact that the vast majority of business is concentrated in a smaller number of accounts, called the top 20, 25% of the accounts. Sometimes 30% of the accounts hold most of the potential. You can't allow your salespeople to treat all accounts as if they had the same value. An account is an account is an account. Now, the way salespeople are wired is they see an account that doesn't have your product, they believe it's their mission to go and make sure that happens. The problem is some of those activities, some of those placements are very low value. They're never going to really amount to much. So a big part of the sales leader's job is to identify the accounts that are going to have a meaningful difference, have that discussion with the salesperson responsible for that territory, coach them and talk to them about how important it is they stay focused on the most important accounts so that when they do make a placement, it yields the maximum amount. Volume is a big focus for the wine and spirits business. We must meet our volume goals, especially for the wine business. But this is a big part of the job of a sales leader. Now, you're going to need all of your tools around you, sales leaders. You're going to need to know where every bottle of wine and spirits is sold by account, right down to the address level. You're going to be able to look at it by month. You want to see trends, what's happening, what new accounts do we have, what accounts are we in danger of losing, are we staying focused on the accounts that really matter, do we have the right channel strategy, on-premise, off-premise, chains, independents. There's a lot for the sales leader to do, and most of this has to do with strategy and staying focused. So you don't need to micromanage your salespeople, but you can have some output, some reports that show where they're focusing, what accounts. So here's a good example of this. Let's say you create a list of 30 or 40 of the richest targets in the market, and they're responsible for that market. Run reports that only show activity and results for that particular set of accounts, not for the whole territory. Like, I don't really think you should measure number of sales calls made per week, because that assumes that all accounts are equal. So I'd want to, as the coach of the sales team, the sales leader, I'd want to spend a lot of time looking at how are we doing in the accounts that really matter. Are we fishing where the fish are? Another way to help people stay focused is to ask questions. Ask them questions about how it's going. Do you feel like you're staying focused? What kind of barriers are you running into? These sort of things. So asking good questions is a big part of coaching. But to the degree you can help your sales team stay focused on what really matters, you're going to have a lot of success as a team overall. One interesting thing is that salespeople, because of the way they're wired, good ones, they are very busy, and they're sometimes too busy. And so you have to kind of keep an eye out for them and ask them questions like, should you really have that much on your plate right now? Can I help you refocus? Maybe let go of some of the smaller, trivial stuff. Salespeople really need that from their coach. And of course, it's all in how you approach it. But you've heard me say in other videos and blog posts that salespeople don't always act in their own best interest. And that's not a character flaw. It's just part of how they're wired. And so they need a coach to help them stay focused. So I hope that's helpful. Now, if you think you could use some help on the hiring the right salespeople part, I want to invite you to watch a free recording of a webinar that I did last year about hiring top sales talent. It's about 34 minutes long, but it is well worth your time. If you've had trouble in the past of hiring great salespeople, or you've brought salespeople in and you were not happy with the results you got, don't blame it on the salespeople. Blame it on the hiring manager. I used to suck at hiring. It didn't matter what role I was hiring for, I was bad at it. And so I had to go get help. I had to go get training, lots and lots of training. So if that describes you, I'm offering your first piece of training, and it's free. Check out this video, watch it end to end, rewind it and watch it again. And if you still have questions, my door's always open. Feel free to reach out. But I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you like it, please click like down below. Share it with somebody who you think could use this information. And thanks for watching.